think the phrase that strikes me most is that every day is a gift. And certainly every day of these last 26 and a half years have been incredible. And some have been harder than others for sure, but all in all, the people that God has brought into our life have blessed us in so many ways.
And certainly as I look back over our church year since last Thanksgiving, we have many things that we can give God the praise and glory for, not the least of which is the coming back of so many people to fellowship and to worship in person. There's nothing like seeing the church family every Sunday morning and being able to reach out and touch base.
I am really, really grateful for things getting back to normal, kind of. It's kind of a new normal, but I'm also so grateful for, and this is going to sound really cliche, but I'm so grateful for the lessons that I've learned in the last year, 2 years. It really is the little things and the simple things that are important and that really matter. It's about relationships and fellowship. That's become just so meaningful to me. The challenges of the last year or two have especially strengthened my relationship with the Lord, and I've learned to depend on Him more and more. He is the constant and consistent thing for me to hold on to when everything seems to fall away or to change. He truly is the one who never changes. And we read about that in the Bible, and He's always there. He's always faithful.
The last year and a half has proven that my plans have no weight. I have no control, but God does, and that's very good news. And God has been helping me to open up my hands and say, okay, I don't know what tomorrow holds, but God, I know that you're in it. And so I trust you in the little things and in the big things, and I'm going to trust that you're going to work all things for my good. And so I'm resting in the promise of God rather in resting in my own ability to control.
Judy and I prayed into the idea of committing ourselves to full-time ministry in 2007. And that's actually when we began the official process of paperwork and seminary and all of that. Inside the span of just a few weeks, I found myself leaving a job that I had held for over 19 years, moving out of a house that I'd lived in for more than 21 years, and landing right next to Light of the Desert, a family that I'd been serving and fallen in love with for the last 2 years, and now able to give myself to the family completely and fully. And it has been incredibly exciting.
When I look back at the past year, I have so many things to be grateful for, especially having my daughters back home with their 3 children that we get to spend time with. It's been a delight.
I'm reminded of how blessed I am and how God has answered my prayers. We started this year off as a family with sickness and injury, and of course that led me to pray not only for healing and strength, but also that God would lead me to be able to live my life in a productive way. I've been retired for a couple years now, and I decided that I would work in the church office a couple days a week, and started doing that in the middle of the year. It's just such a blessing to be there in such a peaceful and constructive environment.
We're back to building homes in Agua Prieta for those in need, and we're back to packing food and sending it to starving children all throughout the world. We recently packed shoe boxes to get ready for Operation Christmas Child, ready to send God's love to those in need. Personally, 2021 has been a hard year for us in the Gottschall household. We recently lost my dad to cancer, which has really taken its toll on the 4 of us. But while we walked through that tough time, that struggle for us personally, we were surrounded by this congregation, our Light of the Desert family, with prayers and love and hugs when we needed it and tissues to dry our eyes. Thank you for being so amazing. Thank you for loving like God has asked us to do. And thank you for being so gracious and kind to our family when we needed it most.
I look forward to continuing to grow in my faith and being able to spend time at church and maybe even be able to make the time to volunteer in more ways and be able to participate in some of the church Bible studies and other things that they offer. So I do feel blessed this year and look forward to an even better 2022.
I know that God has many more things for us to be able to rejoice in, not the least of which is probably going to be the building of an educational center in Casolo, and who knows what else He has in His plan for us. We just need to remain diligent and prayerful and obedient to His call. I love my Light of the Desert family, and I cannot think of any place I would rather continue on this journey of faith.
I'm looking forward very much to this next season at Light of the Desert, the next season of our life. God has got the best ahead of us. I'm absolutely convinced of that. I know that one of the things that when we have kids at home, it is a blessing, and we love every stage of that, but also now it's beautiful to be able to focus on conversations with new friends and maybe being a little bit less hurried. And so with that in mind, I'm very much looking forward to the future and what God has for opportunities for us.
I look forward to what Light of the Desert will become, and also possibly retiring and starting something new in my life.
I look forward to building more homes and to feeding more starving children around the world, to feeding our local people here in Phoenix that need help. I'm excited to walk this journey alongside each and every one of you, and I pray God reveals what additional things He wants us to focus on and what additional work He has for us in store. 2022 is going to be a great year. I just know it. And I thank God that this is the group that I get to do and experience 2022 with, my Light of the Desert family.
I am excited for and continue to pray for growth in community and relationships. And I just can't wait to see how God just continues to use us at Light of the Desert to shine His light in Cave Creek here and beyond. We have seen that God is able to do so much more than we could ever imagine. So I am excited for the ride that we are going to be on with Jesus, the journey that we're going to be on with Jesus as we step into this new year.
I'm looking forward to what God has in store for His church. It seems that whenever things are challenging, or in our interpretation, our eyes, it seems like things are hopeless, God just shines through, and He always just comes through for us. He has our future in His hands. That just brings me so much peace. He already knows, and my only part is to say, yes, Lord. And that brings me a lot of peace and a lot of comfort.
I can't be any more excited about what we here at Light of the Desert have the opportunity to be a part of. And it's going to be all of us led by Jesus to make it happen. My mind is full of ideas, but I imagine that so is everyone else's. And so to just come together and pray together and find where God is calling us and just attacking it with the love that Jesus uses to change lives. You have to believe that the Holy Spirit is going to do amazing things in this next year. And we have the privilege of being a part of that.